Niamey, Niger, the body of Sergeant Law David Johnson, one of 4 U.S. soldiers killed in an ambush by Islamist militants in Niger last month, was found with his arms tied and a gaping wound at the back of his head, according to 2 villagers, suggesting that he may have been captured and then executed. Amu Bobakar, a 23-year-old farmer and raider, said some children tending cattle found the remains of the soldier October 6, 2 days after the attack outside the remote Niger village of Tongo, which also left 5 Nigerian soldiers dead. The children notified him. When Bobakar went to the location, a bushy area roughly a mile from the ambush site, he saw Johnson's body lying face down, he said. The back of his head had been smashed by something, possibly a bullet, said Bobakar. The soldier's wrists were bound with rope, he said, raising the possibility that the militants, whom the Pentagon suspects were affiliated with the Islamic State, seized Johnson during the firefight and held him captive. The villagers' accounts come as the Niger operation is under intense scrutiny in the United States, with lawmakers expressing concern that they have received insufficient or conflicting information about what happened. The Pentagon is conducting an investigation into the attack in Niger, where the U.S. military is helping the Nigerian government confront a threat by militants associated with the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Bobakar, a resident of Tongo, said in a phone interview that he informed the village's chief after seeing Johnson's body. His 2 arms were tied behind his back, he said. The chief called Nigerian military forces, who dispatched troops to retrieve Johnson's remains. 4 U.S. soldiers were killed in Niger on October 4, in an attack near Niger's border with Mali. Soldier, Sergeant Law David Johnson, was missing for 2 days before his body was recovered. Here's what we know. Victoria Walker / The Washington Post. The village chief of Tongo, Munkela Alassane, confirmed the account in a separate phone interview. The back of his head was a mess, as if they had hit him with something hard, like a hammer, recalled Alassane, who said he also saw the body. They took his shoes. He was wearing only socks. A U.S. military official with knowledge of the investigation into the ambush acknowledged that Johnson's body appeared viciously battered but cautioned against reaching any conclusions until the probe is completed. When the Americans received Johnson, his hands were not tied, said the U.S. official, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss a sensitive matter. The 2 Tongo villagers said they also saw the bodies of the 3 other American soldiers, Staff SGTS. Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson and Dustin Wright, who U.S. officials say were killed in action. One was slumped inside the team's pickup truck, they said. The bodies of the other 2 were on the ground, one clutching a walkie-talkie, they said. They were wearing t-shirts and boxer shorts, the 2 men said. It was unclear whether the militants had stripped off their uniforms. The accounts could help explain why it took 2 days to find Johnson's body, while the other men's remains were retrieved several hours after the battle. Johnson's widow has said that the U.S. military advised her not to view his corpse, a suggestion often made when remains are badly disfigured. The widow, Myshia Johnson, has emerged as a prominent figure in the uproar over the Niger attack, accusing President Trump of acting cavalierly about her husband in a condolence call, a charge the White House has denied. She also has complained of receiving little information about what happened to her spouse. FBI and U.S. military investigators have arrived in this impoverished West African nation to try to determine what happened in the October 4 assault on an 11-member Army's Special Forces team and 30 Nigerian troops. Among the questions they are addressing were their intelligence lapses. Did the unit have adequate equipment? Was the extremist threat properly assessed before the mission? The case has received enormous attention in the United States because of conflicting accounts over whether the soldiers were on a low-risk patrol or had changed plans and set out in pursuit of Islamist insurgents. Questions also have been raised about why the team was lightly armed, given the danger in the area. The Pentagon has said the soldiers were on a routine reconnaissance mission. Under U.S. military rules, American troops in Niger are not supposed to go on combat missions in the country, but they can advise and assist on missions with local forces where the chance of enemy contact is low. A senior Nigerian security official said in an interview that the military unit made a critical error by deciding to spend the night along the volatile Mali-Niger border. That allowed the militants to surveil the unit and plan the ambush that occurred the following morn.